And on a morning, as they walked in the garden, there appeared before the gate a woman, and it was Karima, she whom Al-Mustafa had loved even as a sister in his boyhood. And she stood without, asking nothing, nor knocking with her hand upon the gate, but only gazing with longing and sadness into the garden. And Al-Mustafa saw the desire upon her eyelids, and with swift steps he came to the wall and the gate, and opened unto her, and she came in and was made welcome. And she spoke and said, Wherefore have you withdrawn yourself from us altogether, that we may not live in the light of your countenance? For behold, these many years have we loved you, and waited with longing for your safe return. And now the people cry for you, and would have speech with you. And I am their messenger, come to beseech you that you will show yourself to the people, and speak to them out of your wisdom, and comfort the broken of heart, and instruct our foolishness. And looking upon her, he said, Call me not wise unless you call all men wise. A young fruit am I, still clinging to the branch, and it was only yesterday that I was but a blossom. And call none among you foolish, for in truth we are neither wise nor foolish. We are green leaves upon the tree of life, and life itself is beyond wisdom, and surely beyond foolishness. And have I indeed withdrawn myself from you? Know you that there is no distance save that which the soul does not span in fancy? And when the soul shall span that distance, it becomes a rhythm in the soul. The space that lies between you and your near neighbour unbefriended is indeed greater than that which lies between you and your beloved who dwells beyond 7 lands and 7 seas. For in remembrance there are no distances, and only in oblivion is there a gulf that neither your voice nor your eye can abridge. Between the shores of the oceans and the summit of the highest mountain, there is a secret road which you must needs travel ere you become one with the sons of earth. And between your knowledge and your understanding, there is a secret path which you must needs discover ere you become one with man, and therefore one with yourself. Between your right hand that gives and your left hand that receives, there is a great space. Only by deeming them both, giving and receiving, can you bring them into spacelessness. For it is only in knowing that you have naught to give and naught to receive that you can overcome space. Verily, the vastest distance is that which lies between your sleep vision and your wakefulness, and between that which is but a deed and that which is a desire. And there is still another road which you must needs travel ere you become one with life. But of that road I shall not speak now, seeing that you are weary already of travelling. Then he went forth with the woman, he and the 9, even unto the marketplace, and he spoke to the people, his friends and his neighbours, and there was joy in their hearts and upon their eyelids. And he said, You grow in sleep, and live your fuller life in your dreaming. For all your days are spent in thanksgiving for that which you have received in the stillness of the night. Oftentimes you think and speak of night as the season of rest, yet in truth night is the season of seeking and finding. The day gives unto you the power of knowledge, and teaches your fingers to become versed in the art of receiving, but it is night that leads you to the treasure house of life. The sun teaches to all things that grow their longing for the light, but it is night that raises them to the stars. It is indeed the stillness of night that weaves a wedding veil over the trees in the forest, and the flowers in the garden, and then spreads the lavish feast and makes ready the nuptial chamber, and in that holy silence tomorrow is conceived in the womb of time. Thus it is with you, and thus in seeking you find meat and fulfillment. And though at dawn your awakening erases the memory, the board of dreams is forever spread, and the nuptial chamber waiting. And he was silent for a space, and they also awaiting his word. Then he spoke again, saying, "You are spirits, though you move in bodies, and like oil that burns in the dark, you are flames, though held in lamps. If you were naught save bodies, then my standing before you and speaking unto you would be but emptiness, even as the dead calling unto the dead. But this is not so. All that is deathless in you is free unto the day and the night, and cannot be housed nor fettered. For this is the will of the Most High. You are his breath, even as the wind that shall be neither caught nor caged. And I also am the breath of his breath." And he went from their midst walking swiftly, and entered again into the garden. And Sarkis, he who was the half-doubter, spoke and said, "And what of ugliness, master? You speak never of ugliness." And Al-Mustafa answered him, and there was a whip in his words, and he said, "My friend, what man shall call you inhospitable if he shall pass by your house, yet would not knock at your door? And who shall deem you deaf and unmindful, if he shall speak to you in a strange tongue of which you understand nothing? Is it not that which you have never striven to reach, into whose heart you have never desired to enter, that you deem ugliness? If ugliness is aught, indeed, it is but the scales upon our eyes and the wax filling our ears. Call nothing ugly, my friend, save the fear of a soul in the presence of its own memories." And upon a day as they sat in the long shadows of the white poplars, one spoke, saying, "Master, I am afraid of time. It passes over us and robs us of our youth, and what does it give in return?" And he answered and said, "Take up now a handful of good earth. Do you find in it a seed and perhaps a worm? If your hand were spacious and enduring enough, the seed might become a forest, and the worm a flock of angels. And forget not that the years which turn seeds to forests, and worms to angels, belong to this now, all of the years, this very now. And what are the seasons of the years save your own thoughts changing? Spring is an awakening in your breast, and summer but a recognition of your own fruitfulness. Is not autumn the ancient in you singing a lullaby to that which is still a child in your being? And what, I ask you, is winter, save sleep big with the dreams of all the other seasons? And the Manus, the inquisitive disciple, looked about him, and he saw plants in flower cleaving unto the sycamore tree. And he said, "Behold the parasites, master. What say you of them? They are thieves with weary eyelids, who steal the light from the steadfast children of the sun, and make fair of the sap that runneth into their branches and their leaves." And he answered them, saying, "My friends, we are all parasites. We who labour to turn the sod into pulsing life are not above those who receive life directly from the sod without knowing the sod. Shall a mother say to her child, 'I give you back to the forest, which is your greater mother, for you weary me, heart and hand?' Or shall the singer rebuke his own song, saying, 'Return now to the cave of echoes from whence you came, for your voice consumes my breath'? And shall the shepherd say to his yearling, I have no pasture whereunto I may lead you, therefore be cut off and become a sacrifice for this cause? Nay, my friend, all these things are answered even before they are asked, and, like your dreams, are fulfilled ere you sleep. We live upon one another according to the law, ancient and timeless. Let us live thus in loving kindness. We seek one another in our aloneness, and we walk the road when we have no hearth to sit beside. My friends and my brothers, the wider road is your fellow man. These plants that live upon the tree draw milk of the earth in the sweet stillness of night, and the earth in her tranquil dreaming sucks at the breast of the sun. And the sun, even as you and I and all there is, sits in equal honour at the banquet of the prince, whose door is always open and whose board is always spread. Manus, my friend, all there is lives always upon all there is, and all there is lives in the faith, shoreless, upon the bounty of the Most High.